Now it's time for another hidden in the gem or independent animation project that you kind of found a fact. Welcome to Hell 1 was sort of a surprise back in 2014, if I'm correct, or 2015, in around those 2 years, that was sort of exploded because how relatable this short really was. Because when I mean short, it was technically a short, but it was so well thought out. 10 years later, the creator decided to make a sequel, but maybe a 2 to 3 part. Welcome to Hell Part 1, 2, and maybe 3. We don't know how many parts were coming out, but you could tell this is actually has so much potential. It's like mind blowing, especially sort of the whole first short was basically sort of a gay sort of contact sort of project that is not forced. It just feels, yeah, regular. Like they don't force the gayness. And that's the thing, because usually mainstream media, Japanese or American, sometimes they feel forced, or some of the gay community do complains that doesn't feel gay enough, or just straight people doing gay content while understanding the context. And that's usually the complaint of majority of gay content. But this one feels right, because I have to remind you, I'm straight. I like this series. I like the vibe. I like Sock, because Sock is just so relatable that you don't need to be gay to relate to him. Even that, I have to point out, of course, I have to be careful with my words because I do not want to be monetized, that he basically deplugged himself, his own family, because he likes deplugging things with a knife. I hope that sort of clears what I mean. That he is a serial killer. But the only problem is he doesn't feel that much till he did the deed, till he realized he did it to his own family, and he's just wondering, well, there's nothing left to do. It just unplug myself. And that's sort of the first couple seconds of the first episode. You're just like, okay, I am completely invested. Tell me why you keep deplugging people in yourself. And this is the thing, it's super whimsical about it. And that is so hard to pull off because you can easily sound mean spirited. Because it's easy to make mean spirited jokes without having sort of cheese factor. In other words, you have something to do with it, something to be interesting. And Sock, our main lead, he is very interesting. Just to remind you, once again, I am straight and I'm completely fascinated about this character. I relate to him. Even that he's gay, I still relate to him because he just sort of doesn't know what to do. Yeah, I think that's sort of the vibe of everything. That's sort of, you expect something, it's not the thing you expecting. And that's the interesting thing. They pulled out so well of the first couple of minutes of the first pilot. They just intrigued, especially what happened next. Of course, before I get going, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, to reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you'll like how it's going, you'll like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and like. That's all you need to do. But if not, that's cool. But if you do, thank you, because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people who like, comment, and share. Thank you. Now let's get started with the sort of indie gem Discovery, who actually have 2 more parts or maybe more. We don't know, but we're getting there. Now let's get started. Now, Welcome to Hell was sort of a surprise because I think nobody really expecting it to be this relatable, this good, this fantastic, because it just went and go and nobody really expect more. In fact, I'm surprised because you watch the first short, you expecting big things with this simple IP. Even that, the creator, Alice, if I'm correct, please correct me down below. I don't remember her name exactly, but she did state this was sort of kind of thesis, but she did ask for money on Patreon. She got over $3,000, and the rest is just sort of asking for help. People who want to help this very, very low budget project, because you watch this pilot, it is very low budget, but how it was sort of executed was so interesting because Sock is an interesting character, especially when it happens to he actually did the deed. They plugged himself. He went straight to the underworld. Obvious, I can't say the original word because this is YouTube, but you can understand because when you meet the devil, you expect this sort of evil, horrible man. No, no, no. You meet this sort of salesman. That's the best way to describe it. That he's sort of burnt out, tired. He tried to reinvent himself, becoming a better, heavier demon. And that is just sort of interesting because Sock just sort of confused. So where am I? Who are you? What's going on? 100% sure everybody who watched this first short come up with the same question like, why are you like this? Why are you sort of disappointment? I think that's the best way to describe it because the devil was surprised to me. But I like that sort of enthusiastic he has. Look, kid, this is the first time you went to the underworld. We're restructuring because it's not self-sufficient, but I give you a deal you can't refuse. In a way, yes, because it's the only chance that Sock can sort of, I don't want to say redeem because it wasn't redeem. It's like you going to the place we torture you or work for me. Either or, it's gonna happen. And Sock agrees to it. But it's with a condition. And this is sort of maybe the theme of the devil. Like, I'm torturing you, but not the way you think I'm torturing you. Because Sock have to become sort of a demon to convince someone else to deplug himself because he's not allowed to actually touch him. And that's sort of the gig was given to him to be able to accomplish. Doesn't matter, you're straight, bi, gay. Oh, hey, gay people, you are invested because you are just so interesting. What will you do with Sock position? What the approach to do it? Even that is sort of morally gray. You're wondering, should I do this or just do what I need to do? But at the same time, if I go back and get my punishment, I'm sort of not getting my punishment. It's just sort of that sort of question, like, I don't know what to do. And that's the thing grabs your attention. Now, this is the kicker that does grab your attention because Sock had to hunt this, I think, teenager or maybe senior, maybe last year. I'm guessing they did not announce what grade he is. That Sock had to basically force him to deplug himself. The only problem is Sock kind of likes him romantically, but not sure. It's more, look, I'm thinking about myself or my job because I'm gonna get tortured however I turn this around. So he decided to embrace the being demon. But this is the thing. How you do that? Because they didn't give him an instruction manual. They didn't give him any lessons. Just do what you need to do. And he's just very awkward, just looking at him like the kid, like, can I help you kind of vibes. Like, can you leave me alone? And Sock just harassing him, but at the same time, you also have the devil helping Sock. It's sort of kind of info dump sort of the things what he can and cannot do. But you thinking, well, should he have that orientation in the very beginning? Because that would help a lot Sock's job. Even that is very questionable, but even that, it will help a lot. No, he just let Sock whatever he needs to do. And Sock is just sort of confused. And I like that because you don't know what to do in that sort of odd conversation. Even that, you know, the only person this guy can see is Sock, only Sock. Because, interesting enough, the lore dump gets more fascinating that nobody can see the devil, only Sock. And Sock, the person who can see him, is his victim. And the victim only sees Sock, not the devil. And that's just sort of very convoluted, but also very interesting because they have rules of rules of rules. And you kind of wondering, can it go any deeper? They don't because it's super obvious. It's sort of a short, well, semi-short. It's almost like 10 minutes long-ish, so you can so much you can dump it. But the relationship with Sock and his victim was actually pretty interesting because they have this sort of kind of frenemies, making fun of each other, little by little they starting liking each other. He also allowed Sock to pass the door without his permission, doing things that he doesn't need really permission anymore because this guy just fully accepts Sock, but it's not fully romantic. It's almost what we could do next, and that's just kind of fascinating. And I think this is why it clicks so well to everybody. It doesn't matter you're gay, straight, or bi. You are completely invested. You're wondering, I want more, or at least give it more bigger explanation because you are interested what to see what happens next. Yeah, I'm sort of surprised that the creator never did anything else till like a year ago. They did announce she was creating a part two of it. And you're expecting, oh, another 10-minute short. No, no, no. There are multiple parts. And the second part has been released over 2 weeks ago during this recording. Now, part two of Welcome to Hell does give some more depth in the whole lore dump knowledge because it did explain, yeah, he did have a book. I just sort of forgot to give you Sock. Like, so you give him something that he really needed but never did. You think the double is kind of like asshole, but yet it kind of makes sense because he's sort of busy re-figuring out, re-strategizing his own business to self-deficient torture. But you kind of like the double. The double is just sort of very charming. That sort of boss that he has no idea what he's doing, but you have charm with this guy. Like, I can't hate the guy. But other than that, this is the interesting part of second part, the hell, Welcome to Hell. It's basically Sock and his sort of victim that he sort of asking Sock, like, why you still here? What is this? Like, why you bother me? Well, I kind of need to convince you to off you. And that's sort of the interesting sort of relationship that he doesn't want to or want to go that far, but he just want to be friends with his target. And that's the thing, the target, or AKA Jonathan, because Jonathan, he's sort of a lonely guy. Like, he's not sure what to do, especially what to say with his mother, what's going on with him, and Sock, because it's sort of hard to explain the sort of scenario he is truly in. But there's a other layer. Jonathan doesn't trust Sock because he knows there to convince him to open himself. Every time they get close to becoming a friend, he pushes him away every single time. But on top of all this, he doesn't really trust him because, once again, he knows what he's there for. So he lets his guard down. He'd be probably convinced to do some horrible act because that's the whole point. And that sort of layer complication you kind of get. Should I trust him? Should I not trust him? Especially Jonathan is a lonely guy. Probably never told his mom he is sort of gay, I'm guessing. At least that's my interpretation. I don't know your interpretation. Tell me down below. But at the same time, he has sort of loneliness. I feel his father not there, or he is there, or he passed away because he only has his mother. At least once more, that's how I chose to interpret it till the second part releases and find out what happened to his father. But besides that, it's just sort of very interesting. I think the most interesting thing of the second part is you find Sock tempted to read Jonathan's book, but he's not allowed to. He doesn't get it till the devil sort of explains, yeah, because it's sort of specific item belong to the main the person you're hunting is sort of off limits till it allows you to read it. This way you have sort of a tingle shock. And that's just interesting because you think that's it, but it add another layer to grab your attention. Is that they give Sock the manual, what you're allowed to do in the hunting. But he sort of accidentally let Jonathan read the book. Because of that, he sort of kind of died, and Jonathan didn't know what to do. He attempted to talk to the devil. The devil freaked out because that's a no-no, because you did it the wrong way. He never should have read the book, because there is consequences that he doesn't want to face. We don't know what is the consequences, but we do know Jonathan technically died in a way, but not the way you think, because he sort of opened a door with this other thing, this sort of shadow creature who is talking to him, asking, do you know where you are? And the whole episode sort of ends there. That is just super intriguing because you don't know how Jonathan reacts or what this sort of shadow demon is and why the devil is sort of afraid. Maybe afraid of God, the angels, or other BS political crap in this universe, kind of make him more pissed off and annoyed. He had to do more paperwork. Either or, this is very interesting. because it opened up a bigger understanding of the universe, because every single thing they do had to be in the regulation. And if it's not, there is sort of a punishment for someone else. You don't know who, you don't know how it's coming up. We don't know if it's be the Green Reaper, the angels, the god, or other identities they're trying to lock up, trying not to push him inside in the Earth universe. Once again, you see the potential of everything here, because this show or these shorts are just so well built. And I feel this could be so much. In fact, I'm sort of disappointed this was never picked up for a series or animated movie, because this thing has so much potential. But at the same time, I can see why people are not sure what to do. Not because of the gayness, it's because the other thing, the unplugged thing, that doesn't matter how you look at it, the unplugged thing is sort of very questionable. You just like, yeah, I can see a lot of people don't want to actually show this or talk about this because it's very, very risky. He also gets sued. The other gay thing, you can allow it because it's mainstream media is changing, but yet I can see how they sort of how to deliver the first part. It's very whimsical about it, but yet you're on the fence. Even I was like, I don't know, this is a good idea, but I can see what they did this from. And this is a problem, because you don't know you can sell it and it would be worth it, in other words, because animation is very expensive. For one episode, a minimum, the cheapest you go 100 grand. 100 grand per episode. 10 episodes, meaning you spending close to maybe $1 million. At the cheap end, if you're making this 10 episodes, even that is still not enough money to make a full movie image. What I mean is, 100 grand is saying 2 minutes, maybe 4 minutes long, and you have to stretch that to 10 minutes per episode. So you can see what I mean. You at least have to dump a minimum of $4 or $5 billion to make these 10-minute episodes work in mainstream media. Even that, you want to make it cheaper, you have to do it the level of Family Guy animation. You have to minimize every little thing to make it work. And that is just, yeah, I don't think so. I'm kind of glad it did not picked up, because it would kind of lose that interesting indie animation project, because their point of this project, the animation, it's just sort of not done. It's just images moving back and forth, but not fluently. It just sort of bordered sometimes. And you know what? I'm okay with that, because the cheap art style give it a sort of a whimsical sort of personality. That best way to describe it, sort of kept it under best sort of vibes, but for the adults. And that's why I really enjoy indie. That's sort of, yeah, we cheap, but we have a personality. And this is the thing, the whimsical part of this animation, sort of bordered, sort of kind of test footage, works super well. They use it as a strength, not a weakness. And I think this is the reason why it sticks to you. Even that the writing is very good, the characters are very enjoyable, and also very self-aware. I mean, at points I can sometimes laugh my ass, like how Jonathan's mom heard a thump and she thinks, "Oh, this sounds like a dead body in my son's room. I must check it out." And obvious, that's just sort of self-aware enough to make you laugh. But it's one of those things, it's just give it a charm to make it, yeah, this is my thing. This is the thing I was waiting for. I wish more adult cartoons have this sort of vibe. Not Family Guy or South Park, a sort of vibe, a chillax. It sort of makes it something like King of the Hill now words. But other than that, this thing is just oasis. The lore, the characters, even the animation. If it's this picked up, I just wish they keep it the tone or sort of the indie, sort of scrappy animation with it. But if not, I'm okay waiting every 6 months or 8 months for a next episode, because this is truly really good. Hopefully it does have multiple parts, not just two, but this thing has so much to tell that hopefully will be actually successful. Even that you're a person who don't like gay content, I still highly recommend it, because this thing has so much potential to be so much more. It just feels a tip of the iceberg. But once more, it can easily turn bad the next episode. Who knows? But yet, I truly recommend it. It's a fun time, especially all sort of self-aware, cheesy, over-the-top moments that are just completely worth it. In fact, the Doubles could be one of my favorite characters of the interpretation as a demon, because it's sort of obvious you have to torture so many people. You kind of are freaking out, trying to reinvent yourself, fix the system, make it better, almost like a car salesman that works so well, at least to me. I don't know you. Which are your favorite character? What you think some of the parts really work or something doesn't? Tell me down below. Let me know. Anything else? I really can't say. I just sort of surprised they decided to make another part, because it's obvious the first part was so popular. It's almost like 60 billion views or something like that. It's really just amazing how this sort of indie just sort of stick so hard to people that wanted more. But other than that, I don't know you, how you thought about it. You enjoyed it? Do you hate it? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.